Singapore's stock market has been on fire with the STI pushing to new record highs. But here's the real secret. It's the banks, right, that hold the key. DBS has already smashed into record territory, right, with fresh 1GT bullish signals. However, OCBC and UOB are still locked below critical resistance level, with banks making up nearly half of the entire STI weightage. Their next move could decide whether this rally keeps running or starts to fade. And their charts are revealing something very interesting. Let's go to dive into the charts for each of the three Singapore banks right now. So before we look at the banks, right, let's just quickly look at what we call the STI, the Straits Times Index. So by the banks DBS, OCBC and UOB makes up or accounts for about 50% of weightage of the STI. So we see the banks move up, more or less the STI will start to push up as well. So this is the STI right here at about 4,436. You can see right over the past 1-2 weeks, we have seen STI push to a new record high, and it was mainly due to DBS that I'll cover in a bit. That was pretty much pushing higher, right? However, OCBC and UOB was still lagging, right? So it was kind of like the move of the entire STI index. Right over here, we got a 1GT bullish signal for the STI. Longer term trend is up. The short term, you can see that we started to turn from sideways to up as well as we broke the 4,400 level. So pretty good move for the STI. Let's take a look at what has happened for DBS, right, to actually cause the STI to move up. So this is DBS Bank right here. I would say one of the strongest bank in the Singapore market right now compared to the other two local banks, right? 53.91. So very quickly, you can see that the longer term trend is up for DBS just by looking at the 100 days moving average, the red line, and even the 200 days moving average, blue line. So longer term trend has been up since last year. In the short term, we saw a very strong reversal coming from April with the 20 days moving average, green line, kind of like reversing back up, flat up, all the way up. Now it is still kind of like pointing up, right? So let's see if there are any bullish signals from a one good trend strategy from a 1GT Pro indicator that I have that pretty much allows me to know when to get in and when to get out. So let's go to turn it on right now and see what it says. Right, so we have turned it on for the market. Now let's take a look at for DBS. So you can see this is DBS, right? I'll not go too far, but we had a bearish signal right over here that was in March, whereby we sold off due to Trump introducing what we call tariffs, right? Sold off. 1-2 weeks later, we got a new 1GT bullish signal coming out on the 23rd of April. And there we go. Look at the red, pump all the way. Another bullish signal. We went even higher. And finally, somewhere in like September, right? This last month, we got a bearish signal. So we have gone up, I would say, very strong rally from here all the way to here, 27% in about 4-5 months, very strong rally, and that pushed the STI higher as well, right? But then you can see, right, somewhere around September, end of September to maybe early of October, we saw some consolidation after we got a 1GT bearish signal, right? So it's a red signal. It can guide us to maybe take some profit, get out more than 27% outside. I think pretty good, right? So you can take some profit, get out, and wait for a new 1GT bullish signal to come back again. And also some other confirmations whereby if we see the short-term trend also turning back up, even better, right? As that happened, let's go to zoom in. You can see that the green 20 days moving average line, whereby when we got the bearish signal, right, the green 20 days moving average line that represents the short term trend, right, actually go from up to sideways. Does it make sense? Right, so that's where we've seen signs of the trend, right, being less bullish, right, in the short term, right? It's kind of like a bit of a consolidation above a support level. It doesn't mean it's going to crash. It just means that we're kind of like resting for a while, taking a breather before hopefully pushing even higher. So we found some support with the green 20 days moving average line flatten out, maybe a bit of support coming in around that $50 psychological level for like what 2-3 weeks. And what has happened over the past 1 week? Well, let's just zoom in. You can see for yourself, guys, that we have not one, but now we got two, right? Two 1GT bullish signals that have just popped out over the past 1 week. One of it was on 2nd of October. The other one was the 7th of October. And it seems like we are starting to push even higher. Let's take a look at the green 20 days moving average line, right? That's flattening out. You can see starting to point up as well, right? 70 point up as well. So not too bad, right? It seems like we are beginning to see a bit of a reversal. And the key is that we have kind of like broke above this very key resistance level right over here. So $50 to 53 is a bit of a consolidation. 53 was where we touched and came down somewhere in September. But over the past few days, well, we got another bullish signal as we broke above that. $53 resistance. So this 53 will be what we call a near-term higher new horizontal support level. So I'm just going to delete this line right now, and maybe we can shift this all the way up to around that 53. So maybe 53 to maybe all the way to that $55. That is kind of like the new range right now. 53 to 55, that would be like about a $2 range, maybe a bit of resistance near 55. I think that's normal. We saw a pretty good move over the past 5-6 days, so I think it's normal to see some profit taking at some of those key psychological level like $50, $55. That's where some selling pressure can come back, right? So it's normal, right? We see a bit of consolidation again before maybe attempting to break 55 to push even higher. When that happens, guys, I would tell you that that's where the short-term trend, the green 20 days moving average line, will continue to slope up as another confirmation as well. And when that happens, I can tell you that's where DBS will lead the STI index even higher, or even higher, right? So I would say that DBS probably one of the strongest bank right now in the market. If you're looking to get in, you might want to focus more on DBS bank. Let's take a look at OCBC right now at $16.86. You can see, right, this is OCBC. Well, not too bad in terms of the longer term trend. It has been up since last year, but you can see that I've already turned on what we call the bullish and bearish signals, the 1GT bullish and bearish signals that I could turn on any single assets, not just the banks, right? And it gives me an opinion on what to do, right? So we got some really good bullish signals coming out, pump all the way up. We got two 1GT bearish signals in April, so all the way down due to the Trump introducing tariffs, right? But then we got a new 1GT bullish signal that led the reversal, and there we go. We're starting to see a bit of a reversal from $14.50 all the way to $16.50, right? And we got two bearish signal. Now let's take a look at what has happened over the past few days, right? It seems like now we got a new 1GT bullish signal popping out as we attempt to push even higher, all right, towards the very key psychological resistance level, and that level will be none other than the $17. Let's take a look at this. I mean, I've talked about this very critical level for OCBC since past few months already. You can see that since like February, over the past 8 to 9 months, we have touched the $17. We sold all the way down. We got bearish signal. Same thing, right? Over the past 2-3 months, in July, August, September, every time we near the $17. And what happened, right? We got some bearish candle, and we kind of like sold down, bearish signals, sold down, right? And you can see over the past few days, it seems like we are nearing this psychological $17 resistance level as well. We are like $16.86. Right, so if you're looking to take some profit, maybe get out near the $17, maybe near $16.92, 95, 98, 90 something, I think that could happen as well, because we have seen some heavy profit taking as we traded there over the past 9 to 10 months, right? So I think it's fine to take some profit if you want, right? And that level is key because if we can break this $17, right, because it's quite strong, right? Every time we hit there, we see selling pressure coming back and we sell down. But one fine day, I have no idea when it will be, but you can see that I have already set my alerts over here, right? 1708, 1711. All right, maybe let's set a few more alerts right over here, right? Maybe 1704, right? 1704, we can set an alert again. 1705, 06, pump, right? So I think if we can break this $17 and we stay above it, that would be where we could potentially see the next upwards phase. Something like DBS that's broken to a new record high. We need to clear the $17 psychological resistance level for OCBC. And when that happens, I think that's where there could be a potential whereby a new 1GT bullish signal can be triggered as well, right, to lead the next phase, maybe all the way to $18, maybe to even $19 as well, right? So watch this level right now, set some alerts for me. I've done it, all right? If we break 17, I'll take a look at it again. If we see a new 1GT bullish signal, great, as where OCBC would have woken up as well. Something like DBS we could potentially start to push even higher. Let's move on to UOB right now, right, at about $35.33. So for that, for UOB, well, we got a couple of bullish signals this November, all the way up, bearish, we sold off. Bullish came out, we rebounded, all right, and let's see what has happened over the past 2 to 3 months since June and July. I would say that the lines, or the moving averages lines, right, look at the red and the blue line, they're moving sideways. Look, the red line going sideways, blue line going sideways. So we have turned into, I would say, a longer term uptrend to now a sideways trend, right? And the range for UOB would be, I would say, maybe from $34, right? $34 all the way to that $37 or maybe $36, right? Over here you can see, right, going up, down, up, down, up, down. It's a bit more of a sideways consolidation right now. So even though we got a bullish signal, we went up, you see bearish signal came down, so it might just be going up and down from here. So we got a recent 1GT bullish signal, but we still need more confirmation, right? So one thing is that when we get any bullish signal, it doesn't mean you get a bullish signal means you just rush in to buy, or maybe if you see a bearish signal means you just rush in to sell or to short, right? No, right? That would be just one signal to garner some entry, but we have what we call a 7-step checklist as more confirmations to come in, to complement that bullish or bearish signal. So if we see a bullish signal plus some other confirmations, like for example, we see a bullish signal coming in, all right, and if the green 20 days moving average line, you can see this green line, obviously it is still pointing down right now, so not really, right? So we want to wait for like maybe a bullish signal plus the short-term trend turning back up, like the green line pointing back up, like over here, or maybe like right over here, whereby we got a bullish signals on the green 20 days moving average line was going flat, start to point up, right? There we go, all the way up. Does it make sense? Well, right, rather than just rushing in the moment we get a 1GT bullish signal, right? So this is UOB. Well, we got a bullish signal, but there's just one confirmation. We'll wait for more confirmation. I think that move can come, right, if we were to break maybe above that 36 or even that 37 psychological resistance level. We can break the 36 to 37. Well, great. I think that's where we may trigger more bullish signals coming out. We might see the trend in the longer term and even in the short term turning up as more confirmation as well to guide UOB to push to a higher target, maybe all the way to 38, even to $40. So there we have it, guys. These are the 3 Singapore banks, right? DBS, OCBC, and UOB. I hope you have taken note of some of the key levels, right? And these are some of the banks whereby I get asked quite often on. I try to do a video every 1 to 2 months to do a quick update as to some of the key levels, right? So in my opinion, I would say that DBS is probably one of the strongest. We got not one, but we got 2 1GT bullish signals, and not only that, there are more confirmations that have came out whereby it is poised to push even higher. So I hope you like this video, guys. If you like this video, go ahead to hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button so that you will not miss out on any videos like this. And of course, if you want to find out a little bit more about the entire One Good Trend strategy, what you could do is to attend a free webinar, right? We have a free webinar. The link's right below the video. Click on it, register for a free webinar whereby I'll share with you guys a bit more on the entire One Good Trend strategy, how we have a checklist, right, to know exactly when to get in, when to get out, the whole framework behind the One Good Trend Pro indicator as well, and how do we actually filter out the top 1% of stocks, right, before knowing exactly what to do with them, whether to buy or to sell them, right? So attend the free webinar, the link right below. I'll look forward to see you in the next video. Joey here.